everyone, thanks so much for joining us today with a Cuppers Awards ceremony. As with the rest of this Cuppers Festival so far, we're virtual.
Thank you so much for all your submissions. We had a great time watching and judging.
Yeah, it was really good fun. Thank you so much. And now we're going to head into the awards and then we'll watch the best of Cuppers.
Nuts. You think someone poisoned my husband's birthday cake with nuts? But I made the cake, and I only left the mixture alone for a few moments. Someone must have... Oh, my sweet Don. He'd never eat them knowingly. He was always so careful with his allergies, and he took extra care with nuts. I just can't quite believe he's dead. When I came back into the room from getting his presents and saw him face down in the cake, twitching, a bite taken out of the slice, I called 999 immediately. Did we have problems? Do you think I was the one who put the nuts in the cake? You know as well as I do that's absurd. I love my husband. Well, loved. But now that you say it, yes, you're right. Only someone who knew him well would know to put nuts in the cake. There was one other issue. Problem. Person, even. I think his name was...
Arthur Pierce, of course. Surely you've heard of me. I starred opposite Johnny.
As one of the extras.
Named extras.
In Don's Macbeth at the Old Vic. Excellent production. You've definitely have heard of it. Don was fantastic. Everyone was on top form. Apart from, him. I think he was a bit younger. 28?
Get told I don't look a day over 20. But I am 28. You'll really just have to believe me there. Either way, I'm a fountain of youth compared to Donny's old codger of a hubby. He's...
Mackenzie Payne, and I'm 33.
37, I think. I mean, Christ! Talk about 1 foot in the grave, more like the whole bloody body.
Okay, fine. I'm 37, but I look young for my age, right? Right. I did. Do. Fuck it, did. Always worry about Don going off with younger boys.
I think, at the end of the day, the difference between me and Mac, I mean, if we must say it, why Donnie started cheating on his husband with me in the first place. Because I'm young! And exciting. It's that classic stage plot, isn't it? Young starlet steals the heart of the best actor in town. I mean, to be fair, it did start on the opening night of Macbeth.
Old Vic.
Limited run.
You definitely have heard of it.
Donnie was fantastic.
I'm convinced it was the first night. I met him at the stage door and he had this grin on his face. Probably because...
I'd just given him the snog of a lifetime in the wings after he'd been stabbed by Macduff. Cut straight to the chase. So, yeah, don't arrest me. It's only stage blood on my clothes. 4 wash cycles and I still can't.
Get that grin out of my head. Don never used to smile like that with me. Not after the honeymoon. The spark just went, like...
That. Case closed. He was mine. I saw the way he eyed me up on stage. It wasn't a dagger he saw before him, no. It was me. When I say case closed, though, I mean it would...
have been perfect if not for that bloody youth. He was just...
a sack of skin. A dead man walking. I had...
no idea what he saw in...
Mac. Why Donnie wouldn't leave him no matter how...
much I tried to be...
the only man for him. It seemed...
like he just wouldn't give...
me the time of day unless...
it was me, and me only. Truth.
was going to come out.
One way or another, because I...
Hated his husband.
his rent boy. That...
Dreary-faced.
leering, leeching...
Bolding, boring.
slick and slimy little...
Cock! That's why I had to do something.
That's why I had to do something.
I thought I was everything to Donnie. He gave me everything, and I wouldn't have it any other way. In fact, he gave me this earring to show me his devotion.
He gave me this earring to show how faithful he was. I wear it on the right.
I wear it on the left. Like I say, he gave me everything. He would always tell me how Mac didn't properly understand him, and that he felt we connected a lot more. But I think, in the back of his mind, he always carried some guilt. He told me that when they got married...
we were the happiest couple in existence. Oh, I was a limpet on the rock of his world. Every day he would tell me
how much I meant to him. I can't quite believe he's gone. He was so kind, so funny, and honestly, he had such a huge...
heart. Just not a heart that could handle nuts. And Arthur knew that. I bet it was...
Mac. He knew Don was bad with...
nuts, and you know what?
The more I think about it...
I'm certain.
It was
him!
And I think I know exactly how he did it. In fact, I can almost see him do it now. I bet that stodgy sloth of a man dragged himself off the sofa, while gorgeous Donnie was out at the theatre doing a real job. He turned off the TV. He would have turned off The Chase. No, scratch that. Midsummer Murders. And trudged to the fridge. It would have taken him a while, being a living corpse and all. But he would have opened the fridge, taken the cake mix out and forced some nuts right inside of it. He probably emptied an entire sack or two of those nuts straight inside the mixture. He had to be sure it would kill Don right. Plus, he's shit at maths. He thought there were 2 people in his relationship, but there were 3. With that, he probably went back to his sofa coffin and waited until Johnny got home, putting on that sunny facade of happy families, all the while planning to evilly murder my Donny with that nutty cake. I'm sorry, officer, but when you see it like that, you can't be anything but
certain that it was Arthur who murdered my husband. How did he do it, officer? I can picture it now. That slinky, slimy serpent of a boy slithered through the back door when I wasn't looking. Like all cheap tradesmen. He would have heisted my beautiful bowl of a mixture out of the fridge and shoved his nuts right there. That's how he did it. And that's how he got away with it, in the shadows, just as he behaved with my poor husband.
Oh, the fight? Oh, no doubt the thing that drove Mac to put the nuts in the cake. Oh, Donny told me it was huge. Shouting, throwing things, the world's biggest hoo-ha.
Yes, Don and I did have a gentle disagreement one evening. Of course it was about Arthur. I think that's the only thing we ever thought about. Well, that and whether it was Donna Summer or Donna Summers. I'd found some texts on
Donny's phone. I guess Mac smelled a rat when Uber Eats was telling Donny how he couldn't wait to double his toil and trouble behind the curtains at Macbeth again. Donny told me how Mac just exploded at him, jumping to all the
right conclusions. I calmly approached Don and asked if he was seeing someone else. At first he tried to deny it, saying that the delivery driver had meant to send the noodles to someone else in the crew. But Don was never a very good liar. He confessed to shagging Arthur backstage and promised he would never do it again.
After their argument, he came to mine, and I, released some tension for him. He told me all about the fight, and how vicious Mac was, hitting him, threatening him.
Gently sitting him down so he could honestly explain what he'd done. He told me they'd only slept together twice.
I'd lost count.
And that it was just one big, lustful mistake which he'd never do again.
Don told me that he had finally told Mac that he was leaving him. For me. Something which he had been promising ever since we'd rehearsed Act 3, Scene 1. But he was lying. He went right back
to that salacious twig. I was heartbroken. We were the perfect couple until that serpent came and
messed everything up. Donny had promised me that he was going to leave the old carcass. But he wasn't good at confrontation and backed out of divorcing Mac. He couldn't handle it. So despite his promises, despite everything, we
had vows to each other. He allowed this insidious maggot to enter our lives, shattering all I thought I knew. God. I was so angry at him. I wanted to
shout and scream and make him realise that I was worth ending things with Mac. But it's the one thing he never manned up to do. I was furious at him for that. God, I was so mad.
So fuming.
I wanted to kill him.
But not enough to put nuts in the cake. Yes, of course, officer. I'll answer whatever other
questions you happen to have. I'm up for anything.
Oh, that, I was out buying balloons and confetti. It
couldn't be me. I was at a party.
It was one outside of London. I needed the party things, but they didn't have any in stock. That's why I headed out
Of London, because, my car broke.
Down! Yes, my friend just, broke down, and I had to sort her...
Out. Yes, I was definitely out.
Side of my comfort zone. Imagine going to the shops and buying
A little present for Donny. It was...
his birthday after all, and I...
Did want to, surprise.
him! It was a surprise, but you know what wasn't a surprise? What isn't a surprise? That the one who killed him was...
Mac, of course it was. He was the one who tried to kill him with his nuts, not...
Me? I'm innocent!
I've said time and time again, I had
nothing to do with...
any of this, and
Unless you have proof,
I'm innocent because...
you can't prove that...
Because you... Well, fine!
Fine!
I put the
I
nuts
put
in
the nuts in the
cake!
cake! Oh. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame.
If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it...
I bet you would have done the same. I was so angry at Don. But I was not going to kill him. It's just that while I was baking, every wet slap of the cake mix against the bowl, made me think of them together. It drove me crazy. That's when I saw red. I snapped. And I left to go and buy some nuts.
I was so sick of Donny's false promises. And I knew Mac was baking a cake. He did one for Donny every year, apparently. I thought if I made it look like Mac had tried to poison the cake, then Donny would leave him and finally be with me. I had no idea it would end up like this. I was hiding near the house, and when I saw Mac leave, I used the key Donny gave me, and I took my chance. I snuck into the kitchen and grated a couple of nuts into the bowl. Not enough to kill him. Well, so I thought. I left before Mac got back, and went home, and was waiting for a phone call from Donny, telling me that Mac had tried to poison him and we could finally be together. Instead, I got a call from the police telling me Donny was dead and I was to come to the station. You know the rest.
When I got back to the house, I grated a couple of nuts into the bowl. Not enough to kill him. Well, so I thought. I knew it would cause an allergic reaction, and he bloody deserved some karma for his transgressions with Arthur. But I never thought his allergy was severe enough to kill him with just a couple of nuts. Can't believe he's dead. And it's my fault.
It's my fault. My Donny. My love. My Macbeth. Struck down by nuts.
I feel terrible. But he shouldn't have cheated. I suppose that means that old toothpick of a lover is off the hook.
He should have kept his promises. I guess this means the old carcass is free to go.
What?
The post-mortem?
But that's impossible. I put the nuts in the cake.
I put the nuts in the cake. So you're saying that...
Technically, I didn't kill him.
I don't believe this.
The cake didn't kill him.
He died of an allergic reaction to a wasp sting.
Wow. I didn't even know he was allergic to wasps.
Yellow and black were never his colours.
But if I didn't kill him with the nuts, though...
If it was the wasp that killed him, does that mean that I'm free to go?
Free to go?
Attempted murder?
Attempted murder?